Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we have some intriguing stories lined up for you. First up, Jiangsu Province is making waves with a remarkable GDP growth of 5.8%, outpacing the national average and positioning itself as a key player in China's economic landscape. President Xi Jinping has called for innovation and support for the private sector, aiming for even more impressive growth in the coming years. Next, let's take a trip down under to the newly opened Melbourne Place Hotel. This stunning addition to Melbourne CBD showcases local artistry and design with a range of accommodations and dining options. Whether you're looking for a cozy room or a luxurious suite, this hotel promises a memorable stay with a unique taste of Melbourne culture. Finally, we have a safety update from Cathay Pacific, which successfully diverted a Milan-bound flight to Lanzhou after an engine failure. The crew acted swiftly, ensuring a safe landing and the well-being of passengers. Stay tuned for more details on these stories and more. Please continue watching for the full content. CGTN, in a significant testament to its economic prowess, Jiangsu Province has emerged as a key player in China's growth narrative, boasting a GDP increase of 5.8% in 2024, surpassing the national average. This trend is mirrored across other major provincial economies such as Guangdong and Shandong, which collectively contribute over 60% of the nation's GDP. President Xi Jinping has emphasized the importance of these provinces in advancing China's 14th five-year plan, urging them to spearhead technological and industrial innovation. Jiangsu, in particular, is encouraged to lead in integrating these innovations while also supporting the private sector, which has seen remarkable growth, with private firms now constituting over 90% of all enterprises in the country. South China Morning Post, the newly inaugurated Melbourne Place Hotel encapsulates the very essence of its namesake city, offering a unique fusion of design and culture. Located in the heart of Melbourne, this hotel features an eye-catching exterior and thoughtfully crafted interiors that pay homage to local artistry, including works by South Sudanese-Australian artist Otong Adam. The hotel's commitment to local suppliers is evident in its furnishings and amenities, creating an authentic Melbourne experience. Guests can indulge in a variety of dining options, from the rooftop restaurant Mid-Air to the basement bar Mr. Mills, each boasting a menu that highlights the city's culinary diversity. The hotel's design philosophy emphasizes both comfort and a sense of occasion, ensuring a memorable stay that reflects the vibrant spirit of Melbourne. South China Morning Post, in a dramatic turn of events, Cathay Pacific Airways was forced to divert its Milan-bound flight to Lanzhou due to an engine failure detected 4.5 hours into the journey. The cockpit crew, upon noticing the malfunction in the left engine, opted for Lanzhou after being advised to consider Chengdu instead. The Boeing 777 safely landed at Lanzhou Zhongchuan Airport after jettisoning 55 tons of fuel, ensuring passenger safety. Cathay Pacific is now making arrangements for a subsequent flight to transport the affected passengers later in the day, showcasing the airline's commitment to addressing the situation promptly while prioritizing the safety and well-being of its travelers. South China Morning Post highlights the urgent need for educators in Hong Kong to take a proactive stance against child abuse following a tragic case where a father allegedly abused and killed his daughter. With over 1,500 reported cases of child abuse in 2024 alone, the letter emphasizes that each case represents a child whose potential has been severely hindered. The author, a secondary school teacher, calls on colleagues to enhance their skills in identifying and reporting abuse, urging them to provide early intervention for at-risk families. The responsibility lies heavily on educators to ensure that every child has the opportunity to grow up happy and healthy, free from the shadows of abuse. The Toronto Star reports a significant legal victory for 3 former organizers of the Tiananmen vigils in Hong Kong, who successfully overturned their convictions for refusing to provide information to the police. This ruling by the Hong Kong Court of Final Appeal is seen as a rare win for pro-democracy activists amid a broader crackdown on civil liberties since the introduction of a national security law. The organizers, who had been part of the Hong Kong Alliance, faced charges after the group disbanded under pressure from authorities. Their case highlights the ongoing struggles for freedom of expression and the challenges faced by those who dare to commemorate the Tiananmen Square massacre, now largely silenced by government restrictions. Australian Broadcasting Corporation covers the community's response to the impending threat of Cyclone Alfred on Bribie Island, where residents are rallying to protect their homes. The local sandbag station quickly ran out of supplies, prompting residents like Nicole Brune to share resources with others in need. Volunteers are stepping up to assist vulnerable populations, ensuring that everyone is prepared for the storm. Additionally, the article discusses the efforts of turtle conservationists who are relocating nests to protect endangered species from the cyclone's impact. The community's resilience and collaboration in the face of natural disasters demonstrate the strength of human spirit amidst uncertainty. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong is experiencing a significant drop in temperatures, with readings falling to as low as 12 degrees Celsius, 53.6 Fahrenheit, across many areas. On Lanzhou Island, the temperature plummeted to 7.6 degrees, while other regions like Tai Mo Shan recorded 9.1 degrees. The Hong Kong Observatory has warned residents of further declines in temperatures due to a persistent northeast monsoon, predicting that the chilly weather will continue into the evening and the following day. Despite the current cold snap, a gradual rise to 25 degrees is expected by next Tuesday as the monsoon gives way to an easterly airstream, although another wave of humid and foggy weather is anticipated midweek. In another article from South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's West Kowloon Cultural District is set to launch its inaugural Arts Week in Shanghai this June, aiming to foster cultural exchanges and promote tourism. The West K Shanghai Week will feature 7 artistic programs from June 18 to 22, showcasing homegrown works like the Cantonese musical The Impossible Trial, which tells the story of a corrupt lawyer during the Qing dynasty. This initiative, supported by Shanghai's municipal government, aims to attract tourists to Hong Kong while potentially paving the way for similar events in other mainland cities. The event will include various exhibitions and performances, such as a retrospective on architect I.M. Pei and a cross-disciplinary exhibition exploring traditional Chinese gardens. The Sydney Morning Herald presents The Robot Dog, a thought-provoking play that delves into themes of grief, cultural alienation, and the impact of technology on human relationships. Set in 2042, the story follows Janelle, who, after her mother's death, navigates her emotions with the help of a robotic therapy dog named Dog. As Janelle and her partner Harry grapple with their cultural disconnections, the play raises questions about identity and the complexities of mourning. The script, while ambitious, sometimes falters in execution, leaving character relationships feeling underdeveloped. Nevertheless, the production shines in its exploration of dark humor and poignant moments, particularly in how it juxtaposes Janelle's Cantonese heritage with Harry's Luritja background, ultimately highlighting the intersections and separations of their cultures. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong stocks have soared to a 3-year high, propelled by optimism surrounding potential stimulus measures from China aimed at achieving its annual growth target of around 5%. The Hang Seng Index surged 2.4% to 24,156.52, marking its highest close since February 2022. Notable gains were seen in tech stocks, with the Hang Seng Tech Index climbing 3.9%. Major players like Alibaba and Tencent saw significant increases in their stock prices, reflecting renewed investor confidence. The Chinese government's commitment to looser monetary policies, including potential cuts to borrowing costs, has further fueled this optimism, as investors eagerly await a briefing from top economic officials for additional supportive measures. Nikkei Asia highlights China's ambition to establish humanoid robots as the next frontier in technology, aligning with the interests of Tesla's Elon Musk. Shenzhen's government has rolled out an action plan promising funding and policy support for intelligent robotics, aiming to cultivate a robust industry by 2027. Musk, whose Tesla has played a pivotal role in the electric vehicle sector in China, is now focusing on humanoid technology, expressing confidence in producing thousands of robots by year-end. The Chinese government has set ambitious goals for mass-producing humanoid robots by 2025, seeing them as a potential disruptive technology. As both Musk and Chinese authorities push forward in this arena, the potential for partnerships and innovations appears promising, although geopolitical tensions may pose challenges. South China Morning Post also discusses CK Hutchison Holdings' strategic decision to sell its port operations in the Panama Canal to mitigate geopolitical risks, despite framing it as a commercial move. The sale of an 80% stake in Hutchison Port Group caught markets off guard, as the company aims to avoid scrutiny and operational disruptions amid rising tensions between the US and China. Analysts suggest that the geopolitical landscape has prompted a re-evaluation of assets, with experts advising other Hong Kong businesses to adapt their strategies in response to increasing uncertainties. The sale, expected to generate $19 billion, reflects a growing trend among companies to reassess their international operations in light of political risks, highlighting the need for resilience and adaptability in a rapidly changing global environment. South China Morning Post reports on the ongoing discussions between Hong Kong and LIV Golf regarding a potential long-term deal, which are still in their infancy. LIV Golf CEO Scott O'Neill expressed optimism about the city, highlighting the supportive government partnership that is crucial for any event's success. He referenced the recent Cathay HSBC Hong Kong Sevens as an example of the world-class events that the city can host. The finance minister, Paul Chan, hinted at a strategic approach to attract sports events that could significantly benefit Hong Kong's economy, especially considering the impressive turnout at last year's LIV event, which saw around 40,000 spectators, many of whom were tourists who spent substantially during their visit. As discussions progress, hopes are high for LIV Golf's continued presence in the city. South China Morning Post also highlights the recent boom in refinancing activities in Hong Kong, driven by the surge in Chinese technology stocks fueled by the AI revolution. Since February, 17 tech companies have collectively raised 52 billion Hong Kong dollars, $6.7 billion, through share placements, with notable contributions from companies like BYD and Extratalpai Holdings. The renewed investor interest comes after a period of regulatory crackdowns and sluggish consumer spending in China, as global funds seek opportunities in the tech sector outside the US. The Hang Seng Tech Index has seen a remarkable rise, reflecting the bullish sentiment among investors. However, analysts caution about potential short-term challenges due to the influx of new shares and the impact of pricing strategies on companies like BYD. BBC discusses the implications of President Trump's tariffs on China, which have increased to at least 20% on imports, targeting the core of China's manufacturing sector. These tariffs are intended to reduce the U.S. trade deficit and pressure China to curb illegal drug trafficking. However, analysts warn that such measures could significantly decrease China's export volumes, which are vital to its economy. Despite the challenges posed by tariffs, experts assert that China's manufacturing dominance remains robust due to its established infrastructure and ability to produce high-tech goods at scale. While the tariffs may shift some supply chains and encourage domestic consumption, they cannot easily dismantle China's position as a manufacturing powerhouse. Furthermore, as China pivots towards advanced technology, it continues to cultivate its global economic influence, even amidst geopolitical tensions. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games and dark